This time on Full Tilt Drift, we make an air diversion panel to cover up this big gaping hole and improve cooling.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright guys, this is our template cooling panel made out of the cardboard, and what we're going to do now is assess the couple problem areas that we have, so that we can fix them when we move to the aluminum plate. So right here for example, and right here, there are some holes we want to fill up, and we want to make it just a little taller to fix that gap there. Take this now, measure it onto our aluminum panel, adjusting for these problems, then we're going to cut that thing out and see how it fits. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just the outline of the actual template we have here, and then I'm going to go over it again, accounting for the differences. That'll show me when I put it up there, where the original sat, and how the adjustments worked. Alright guys, I just wanted to take the opportunity to show you how I'm doing this. All these dots are areas that represent change. So I'm going to be changing it based on playing a game of connect the dots with myself, basically. Alright guys, so now we're going to cut this out and we're going to use the angle grinder to do that. I'm sure you guys remember the angle grinder. It's right here. It's the simple tool, the cheap tool, and if you're good with it, it's the accurate tool. This is a complicated shape. I don't need to be really precise on the first try, but what I want to make sure that I do is not like way overcut and waste a bunch of metal. So I'm going to overcut it just a bit, we'll fit it up, and then we can cut it down.
You crazy mother...
Alright guys, it fits pretty good, so we're going to trim down the edges so they're not like sharp and stuff, clean it up, and then drill the holes where the bolts should go and see where we're going to have to put a crease in this thing and bend it so that it fits in there nicely. To do that, we've got a flat wheel here on the angle grinder, and we're just going to give it like beveled edges to get all the extra cutting material off there. Alright guys, so we got our holes drilled, but you see how jagged this hole is for the bolt? We're going to clean that up with just a 3-sided file right here. I wish I had a round one so I could get the edges. It's just going to take longer with this. But I'm just showing you that you can do this even with little hand tools instead of like the rotary tool that I could use. Alright guys, there we go. It's not perfect, but it's much better. Now we're going to do the last couple fitments on this. We'll probably put a crease in it so that it fits there nicely. And then we get to paint. There's our crease line. So let's get a nice cut in there so it's easier to bend and it bends at the right place. Alright, so you guys should already be familiar with what we're doing here. We're going to run a cut along the crease line just like we did with our skid plate. We're going to clamp one side with like some 2x4s or something flat. Hold the other side down and then bend it. That'll make sure it bends right on the line that we want, and only cutting a certain amount time by time will make sure that it's still pretty structural, at least enough to hold its shape. This piece isn't something that's going to be protective, it's just kind of stopping and directing airflow. So aluminum is going to be fine for this, it's nice and lightweight, and even after we cut the line, it should be totally fine. Alright, that should be perfect. So, let's get this thing bent. Alright guys, so this right here is going to be our clamping device. This should look pretty familiar. We did basically the same thing with the skid plate, just shoving it between some tires to hold one end. Except last time we had to use two big 2x4s to bend the steel plate. This time, two little pieces of wood and hand strength is going to be totally fine. Alright guys, so we don't want to get too eager and bend this thing too far on the first try, because bending it back will loosen it even more. It'll make it even that much weaker. So we'll do it little by little, gradually. And there's our bend. Alright guys, what I'm going to go over now is how to test fit something into place and how to make corrections when you mess up. Here we have our cooling panel, and if you look close, the bend is pretty good. We can see the hole that our bolt's going to use right there. This one, however, is pretty far off. You can't really see it down in there, but that's what we're shooting for. So only when I get the light right can you sort of see it. It's pretty far in there. What you want to do when you're test fitting something like this is find the reason that it won't sink further. So I did a preliminary check around here, and this right here seemed to be the culprit. See how that's touching right there, and everywhere around it is not making contact with the headlight? That means that that is going to be the cause of this not sitting lower. We're going to go trim that off. If this situation happens again, we're going to keep finding the places that is making it sit high and keep trimming them down. Alright guys, just test fitted the cooling panel, and I had forgotten to cut the hole for the hood latch area. So we're going to cut that out, and then it should fit in there flawlessly. Just got it cut out. Let's go test fit this thing. Alright guys, we're done with our cooling panel. It fits pretty well. We painted it up black, so I'm going to call it there. Be sure to stay tuned for the next fabrication video, and I'll see you guys next time.